Hi students, today we learn about an interesting lesson, matter around us. What is matter? We know that everything we see around that occupy space and have mass is called matter. Here, heat, light and sound occupy space but doesn't have mass. Hence, these are not matter. What is matter composed of? Matter is composed of a tiny small particles which cannot be seen with naked eye. Atoms. What is atom? All the matters is composed of a tiny particles called atom. The graphite refill used in the pencil is made up of the element called carbon. We can break the graphite into smaller and smaller pieces. If keep cutting the minuscule graphite into smaller and smaller particles, we will reach a point where we reach the smaller constituent of graphite carbon atom. If we break that carbon atom apart, then it will no longer exhibit the property of the carbon. The smallest unit of an element that exhibits the property of the element is called an atom. Water, rice, in short everything we see around is made up of atom. Move on the topic molecules. A molecule is made up of two or more atoms chemically combined. See this picture. Oxygen gas in the air that we breathe is made up of two oxygen atoms chemically combined. Molecules can be classified as follows. A molecule which contains only one atom is called monoatomic molecule. Example, inert gases. A molecule which contains two atoms is called diatomic molecules. Example, oxygen, nitric acid, hydrogen, etc. A molecule containing three atoms is called the triatomic molecule. Example, ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, etc. A molecule containing more than three atoms are known as polyatomic molecule. Example, phosphate, sulfur, etc. Molecules of elements. A molecule of an element consists of a fixed number of one type of atom chemically combined. The table below shows gases that are made up of two atoms of the same type of element. Next, molecules of compounds. Molecule of a compound consists of a fixed number of different types of atoms chemically combined. For example, let us look at the model of the water molecule. Each molecule of water consists of one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. The ratio of the oxygen and hydrogen atoms remains fixed whether water is in liquid, solid or gaseous state. This principle applies to the molecule of all compounds. See the diagram, molecules of some compounds. Next one is classification of matter. Matter is classified into two broad categories, namely one is pure substance and the another one is mixture. Pure substance are further divided into categories as elements and compounds. Elements. Matter in its simplest form is called an element. The common salt is consisting of the element of sodium and chlorine. Water consists of hydrogen and oxygen. Magnesium and phosphorus used for making crackers. Sulfur is used as the manure in agriculture. Gallium is used for making mobile phones and silicon is used for making the computer chips. These are the elements. There are 118 known elements till date. 94 of these elements occur naturally while 24 elements have been created artificially in the laboratory. Classification of elements. We can classify the elements broadly into metal, non-metals and metalloids based upon their chemical properties. Metals. We have tools, utensils and jewelry made from silver, copper, iron, gold and aluminium. Such elements that are malleable is called as metal. Metals are generally hard and shiny elements. Sodium is one of the exceptions as it's soft. All metals except mercury are solid at room temperature. Mercury is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. Metals are malleable, can be bent or beaten into sheets. They can be drawn into wires. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. Copper, lead, tin, nickel, iron, zinc, gold, magnesium and calcium are examples of metals. Next one is non-metals. Non-metals are generally dull and soft. However, diamond is shiny and also the hardest natural substance on the earth. Non-metals can be gases, solids, liquids. Non-metals such as oxygen, hydrogen and chlorine are gases at room temperature. Non-metals such as carbon, iodine, sulfur and phosphorus are solid at room temperature. Bromine is the only one non-metal that is liquid at room temperature. Non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. However, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Next one is metalloids. What is metalloids? Metalloids exhibit the property of both metal and non-metals. Silicon, arsenic, antimony and boron are some example of metalloids. Move on. Compounds. A compound is a pure substance that is formed when the atom of two or more elements combine chemically into definite proportion. Compounds exhibit properties entirely different from the properties of their constituent elements. For example, the atom of the elements hydrogen and oxygen combine chemically in a fixed ratio to form the compound water. However, water does not have the exact same property as hydrogen and oxygen. Symbol of an element. A symbol is an abbreviation or short representation of the chemical elements. There is a unique symbol for each element. It represents one atom of the element. The symbol is usually derived from the name of the element, which is either in English or Latin. These symbols are allocated by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. See the diagram. The following rules are followed while assigning the symbol to an element. Chemical symbols usually consist of one or two letters. The symbol of most elements correspond to the first letter of their element name. For example, the symbol for oxygen is O and that for hydrogen is H. When there is more than one element that begins with the same letter, that symbol takes two letters. The first letter is capitalized while the second letter has a lowercase. For example, the names of both hydrogen and helium begins with H. So, hydrogen is represented by the symbol H and helium by He. See the diagram. Elements represented by the symbol of two letters. The symbol for some elements are derived from the Latin name. For example, symbol for gold is Au after its Latin name Rm. Similarly, the symbol for copper is Cu after its Latin name cuprum.